What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Wingin' It podcast. Andre, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. It's been a pretty decent week for gaming. A lot of
Yeah,
announcements.
yeah, that's true. It has been pretty decent. Weird trailers, but yeah, pretty decent. We'll get to the weirdness. You know what? No, bump that. We'll start off with the weirdness. Mortal Kombat 11. So the Combat Pack 2 trailer, and we're going on with this 80s hype train. So, we got Terminator. We have RoboCop. Now to get our full-on Contra on, we got John Rambo, which is surprisingly why they never did a Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone Contra movie back in the 80s. It would have went perfect for that Reagan era bullshit. I mean, propaganda they was spewing in the 80s. But I digress. We did get a trailer with Rain and Melina coming back. What do you think about that anyway? Cause I always thought Melina should have just been in there from the get, but that's just me.
Yeah,
Rain, I kind of understand, but Melina, I never understood why Melina was excluded to begin with.
that was probably just one of those decisions that they made at the last minute. She was probably originally supposed to be in, and they decided that they wanted to put somebody else in her place. Because I have a feeling she was already made and developed and ready to go a while ago.
That would make, especially since she showed up in the friendships when they did that the update. I want to say what it was middle of last year when they brought in friendships and her friendship is with Katana. Like, okay, okay, but we did get our first little look at John Rambo, aka Sly Stallone, aka I'm finna miss everything with this entirely big gun and the sleeve of bullets. And then I'm going to
Bullets
waste
that
ammo
would
by shooting it up in the air when I clearly see two people that needs to have bullet holes in them. Clearly, John Rambo is not Frank Castle. So, how do you think he's going to play? Because I don't like RoboCop all that much, but Terminator's all right.
honestly, I don't know. Because when I first saw him, I was thinking they were probably going to be doing like a Night Wolf type character, but I'm like, I don't know if that's what's going to happen with him. But
Yeah,
I could see him being like a heavy hitter close up, but he has a couple cheap distance special moves using the machine gun that don't really do a lot of damage. It's more or less a stun tactic. At least that's how I hope they do it, because it's Mortal Kombat and guns really don't make a whole lot of sense against these characters.
you know what? You have a very good point because I've never understood that in this game anyway. Because apparently nothing hurts them because you can do X-ray shots that actually kill people or fatal blows that no one can survive, and they pop right back up.
Yeah. Like with
Not
I know someone's argument would be Striker, but I'm like, Striker is also a combatant, and he gets the same type of damage. So yeah, no, guns don't really make much sense.
yeah, it really doesn't. Especially like you said with the way this game is uh held in high esteem, I should say.
I mean,
you know,
unless he's gonna have like a finisher where he whips out the big gun and just blasts you to bits, then that makes more sense. But I'm just talking about like as far as special moves, it's probably not going to be the most rampant thing about him. I mean, he is Rambo. He uses big knives. He's good at sneaking up on people and killing them.
especially if you're from Nicaragua.
And he throws grenades. So yeah, so yeah, I guess he would be more like a striker character. Now I'm thinking about it. Probably
Yeah.
hit somebody in the face, stuff a grenade in their mouth, or yeah, there's a lot of things they could do with him. It's Rambo. It's just whatever they take from the movies.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that goes back into what I'm scared of when that movie eventually drops next year is because we done got to this point where we're just like, look, man, we done seen Game of Thrones, we done seen Spartacus, we done seen, Camelot, all these other shows that actually went overboard with the gore. Nobody takes it seriously no more. So how you plan on shocking people? I hope you plan on shocking people by actually having a good script. That can actually help with the shockingness
But
of it. Because if
part
you try to
part of
shock
the
people
charm
with
of
like
Rambo
Yeah. Like if you try to shock people in that movie with like just over violence, it's not gonna work. So because people we laugh at, dude, I'm playing Mortal Kombat 11. I don't even care about fatalities. I want to do fatal blows on people. I don't care about the fatalities. The fatalities are stupid. They're not even. Matter of fact, they're not even. Half of them ain't even fun no more. They're just like, okay, wow, huh? Maybe I should let this person beat me down so I can get that fatal blow in next time. You know, because they're just not. They're just not even. They're just itchy and scratchy at this point. If you ever seen The Simpsons, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But and that's kind of hurtful a
it's
little bit
it
because
lost its excitement.
yeah, because like Mortal Kombat kind of started that whole shocking trend of like stuff that I remember back when it first came out. Boy, they had parents in an uproar, and it wasn't easy to do those fatalities on the first Mortal Kombat on those
Mm-mm.
Super NES. It was not easy to do those.
Nah, it was
You
not.
you miss half of them. You know, it was just hard to do.
And on
And
top of that, with the stiffness of the game back then, if you miss one little input, you had to start the whole process over.
mm-hmm. So I yeah, so it's just one of those situations where you're like, y'all started it, but everybody done did it so much now, it kind of doesn't help that you guys still doing this. You might want to try something different because I think the fatalities should have been replaced with the fatal blows. Personally, I just think like you should have been able to, your fatal blow should have been what the fatalities are because they make more sense to me, and some of them are jacked up. Some of them fatal blows are jacked up, to be honest.
Oh
But
yeah, they are.
that's just me. So, all right. So, saw an article, and I forgot completely about this. I don't know how I forgot because it's one of my favorite gaming consoles. But Sega Dreamcast is 20 years this year, and I just noticed that did we get any HD remakes of any of
I
them
actually
games?
shouldn't that have been last year because it came out 9/9/1999.
99. I thought it was. Yeah, it should have been last year. So this should be 21. Why did they say 20? Okay, whatever. Anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. But um, because the reason why I say that is because one of the game developers for Skies of Arcadia, some people were asking him some questions on Twitter, and he came out like, "Look, we know y'all love the game, and we're happy that you guys love the game, but y'all got to talk to Sega because we don't have any control over that. And although we would love to go back to that world, Sega has to,
They have to
bless it."
approve it.
Yeah. So it got me thinking. I'm like, do you think Sega is sitting on a gold mine? If for nothing else, just to
Do
like remaster some of this stuff, put it in HD, and just put it on the various digital shops, and just see if people gonna buy
I
it. Like
I
Power
mean,
Stone 1 and 2. Well,
well,
they kind of already
that's
did Crazy
Capcom.
Taxi. Well, no, yeah, it is right. Shh. Well, Skies of Arcadia, games like that, like Skies of Arcadia. Record of Lotus War was those, right? That was them, right?
Nah, that was I think that was Deep Silver. I don't know. Let me check real quick.
Okay,
One
while you checking on that, um, I know it was Skies of Arcadia. Well, Grandia is already got the HD treatment. That already has the HD treatment. Uh, the Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 to get the
which those
HD.
already got put out. Those already got put out again on HD consoles, but they haven't really been updated.
That's what I mean. On like the HD treatment. I think all they got was like the widescreen view, right? I think that's all they got, if
Well,
I'm not
no,
mistaken.
they did
I
try
think
to
two
make the
got it.
games.
I think
They
two got
based
the
the I think what they did was base the HD ports on the GameCube
okay,
versions. So yeah, it didn't get a whole lot added to it, but yeah. I mean, if you want PC, you got HD
ish ish.
with the texture packs people put out on them.
Yeah, but and Capcom too. I mean, like, because Capcom, I still don't understand why they didn't keep going with Power Stone. But then again, Capcom hasn't kept going with anything they have outside of Resident Evil and Street Fighter. So
Uh, the Record of Lotus War game that was on Dreamcast was Conspiracy Entertainment,
Conspiracy Entertainment. Well, they need
and
to come
I
out of their
have no idea
conspiracy.
if they're still around.
They need to come out of their conspiracy and do this game. So, But you see what I mean. I'm pretty sure like some of those games probably have like licensing issues. Trying to find out who actually owns the license. I'm pretty sure that's an issue with a lot of those titles. But I didn't understand it when he said it. It didn't click to me that until I started thinking about it. Like, yeah, you know what? They did have a lot of fire games on there.
Yeah,
Um,
they did. I'm looking through a list real quick to see what Sega has themselves. I mean, they did do that 5 game pack, which
yeah.
was on PC, I think 360 and PS3, but and I think it also went to Xbox One and PS4. But
Okay.
they really do have more games that Sega themselves published on the system that they could have done stuff with. Because you got what was it? 18 wheeler is one of theirs. Then there's they're not doing anything with anything football. Uh,
Nah, because that
they
was
have a lot of
Vicarious Visions, right?
yeah. They got Alien Front Online. I think that actually did get remade Alien Front Online, but I don't think that got an HD remaster.
I know
Um,
Fantasy Star Online didn't.
yeah, they could go back and do their shooting gallery games, redo both the Virtual Cop games and redo the House of the Dead series, which would make a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
true.
sense to do.
That's
They
true.
could also do Zombies Revenge, which was the Diablo like game that was in the House of the Dead universe. Kind of plays like a game I remember that came out after that. It was called Hunter: The Reckoning, which was on GameCube. I never beat that game. I should try to
Well, I wound up
pick it
beating
up.
Redeemer, Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer that was on Xbox. Because
Yeah,
remember, that's when they did Hunter the Reckoning on GameCube on all three of them. Then they did Wayward on
I think
PS2,
Wayward was on PS2 and the other
and
one was
then
exclusively on
yeah,
the Xbox. Because then the little girl that you say from the first game is
is
playable in
the
the third game.
yeah, she's playable in Redeemer because the Redeemer takes place. I want to say like 5 or 10 years after
I think it's
Wayward.
about
No,
10,
5 years
10
after
years.
Wayward. I think
Yeah,
it's like 5 years after Wayward, but like 10 years after the first one.
yeah,
Because she's like 17 or 18 or something like that.
yeah. Which that's another series that needs a remaster, but we're not on that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, they got a lot of stuff that they're sitting on.
Well, since they do you think that's one of those things that Sega should probably? Because I assume I'm not gonna pretend to act like I know what it takes to, you know, remaster a game and bring it to updated game system. I'm not gonna pretend like I know. But do you think it would be something that should be doable from Sega? And that should be free, easy money.
Yeah, I mean,
Charge like $10, 10, $15.
as long as they still got most of the source code, yeah. Especially
Yeah,
with like stuff like Crazy Taxi, like would all they would have to do is make a game with all of the characters available and
yeah,
all of the different maps.
and probably add online to it because
Yeah,
people be tripping if they don't.
they add online play where you can compete with other people in the city and y'all have to fight each other for fares.
Yeah,
Like, there's a lot of stuff that they have from that system that they publish themselves. I mean, I can't really speak for all the third party stuff because it's third party,
yeah,
but the stuff that they publish, they have a lot. They have a huge list. They still got a lot of Sega Saturn stuff that they could go back to and redo that they don't touch.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I think that too, and just like the Capcom situation, like Power Stone 1 and 2, like, dude, seriously, you gonna let Smash get all this money? Like you,
Power Stone could have been their Smash, but they didn't want
yeah,
to do anything with it.
yeah. I mean, and I'm very interested to see what would happen if they just like, okay, you know what, uh Xbox, Sony, Steam, Nintendo, we're gonna put Power Stone 1 and 2 on your digital stores. We just want to see what it does.
Yeah, all they have to, honestly at that point, all they have to do is take the thing because they put both of them out on PSP.
Yeah,
Take that version of the game, upscale it, and put it out.
yeah. So I mean, I would love to see what would happen if people would actually jump on it, because I think that's the best way to determine if people are gonna buy something instead of just listening to the vocal minority. Okay, you guys want Skies of Arcadia? Fine. Here's what we're gonna do. 24.99. We're gonna put the GameCube version, but we're gonna update it. Put the GameCube version on all three digital stores as well as Steam, Good Old Games, and stuff like that. If y'all buy it, we will take it into consideration for doing a sequel. Because you have to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, but they also got like people have to have the opportunity to get the stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that to me, that's the best way to gauge if people keep hollering about oh, we want this and we want that. Like for instance, F Zero. People are always hollering about F Zero, but complaining about Fast Racing Neo. We don't talk about that. But if you want an F Zero, I'm like, okay, Nintendo. If they want F Zero, we're going to put F Zero GX on the eShop. We're gonna even let y'all use the GameCube controllers if you have it with Smash, or you can use Joy Cons or Pro Controller. We don't care. But if y'all don't buy it, it's gonna be $10, 10, $15.
Oh, you know, had so many people mad playing that version of that. Well, that F Zero because that was like the hardest one.
These are the same people that said they want F Zero, but was complaining about Fast Racing Neo. I remember the videos.
Oh, I
You
know.
can't find them now, of course, but I remember the video. I'm like, wait a minute, did you not play F Zero GX? Because Fast Racing Neo is way easier than F Zero GX.
But
Way easier.
if they were going to do that, then I'd combine F Zero GX and AX because I think part of AX was in GX anyway.
Was it?
But there were just some additional tracks that were on the AX arcade version that weren't in the GameCube version, and there were some that were in the GameCube game that weren't in the arcade game.
Oh,
So I
okay.
would just combine both of them and put them out as one whole set.
And Nintendo, just to let me highlight you for a minute. Send in can actually do that. Just putting it out there in the ether. Just talk amongst yourselves.
I mean, but Sega and Nintendo still have the teams that put together F Zero,
Yeah,
GX,
that's
and
what.
AX.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what
So
it shouldn't be. It should not be an issue. That's another thing too. That's why I was like, okay, if your fan base is saying that, then to me it's a very simple thing. Okay, if y'all say y'all want this, all right, here what we're gonna do. We'll meet you halfway. We'll meet you halfway. We're gonna put this out on, and yes, we're gonna charge you for it. I don't want to hear your mouth. We're gonna charge you for it. So it's gonna be $10, 10, $15 for F Zero GX. If y'all want another one in the series, we have to see that this is gonna sell. If it sells, then we'll assign a team to it. I mean,
yeah,
that's instead of every time they ask something, where's F Zero? Where's this? Where's that? Like y'all didn't buy it, so that's why you ain't getting another one. They're just letting these iconic franchises lapse. Y'all didn't buy it.
that's the truth.
So I mean, this is a business. It ain't a charity. So yeah, I think that's the best way to go, honestly. But let me know in the comments. Do you think that's a good idea? Should companies go say, okay, all right, look, if y'all saying y'all want this game, so we're gonna put the last one, we're gonna update it, make it modern, put it on our digital store, and if y'all buy it, we'll do it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. But that being said, Age of Calamity, they are really going all in. um, which makes me think, yeah, Age of Calamity and Pikmin. That's the holiday games from Nintendo,
Probably, yeah.
right? That's what it is from
Unless they
Nintendo.
got
So
one, unless they got another one up their sleeves they ain't say nothing about yet. But
knowing Nintendo is probably gonna be Bayonetta 3. It's probably gonna be in that December or something. You're gonna be like, what the really, bro?
I mean, well, it's not like they didn't do that before.
Facts. So, um, we had two Nintendo Treehouse Lives. I love the Treehouse Live. I just don't like the social distance Treehouse Live because everybody internet ain't good. And I'm not talking about the people watching it. I'm talking about the people that's actually in it, and you can tell some people were lagging during both streams. So they had one for Pikmin, one for Age of Calamity. We'll talk about the worst one first. That's Pikmin. So That's a joke, people. That I know the Pikmin fans in here about to crucify me.
No,
That's a
no,
joke.
no, no, no. In this case, they probably agree with you because Pikmin 4, which everybody's been waiting for, has not come out. And the chances are now I'm starting to think everybody was right when they were talking about that Pikmin platformer game. That was
Uh-huh.
Pikmin 4, and we just didn't know it.
Uh-huh. But I mean, the thing is, because I don't have a dog in that fight with Pikmin. I don't. I mean, I played Pikmin 3 because of Jamie Butterworth. Yes, that was your fault. Um, but yeah, it was a fun game. I'm not gonna pick it up for this because I don't really. It, Hyrule Warriors coming out. What you want from me, people? What do you want from me, people? So I'm not getting Pikmin.
It was like, look, I'm going to play with the warriors and heroes over playing with plants.
Yeah, I mean, even though like I said, I played Pikmin 3 on the Wii U. I thought it was a fun game. And although I don't have my Wii U anymore because I'm such a nice and caring uncle, um, I'm not gonna. That's probably one of the ones I'm not gonna rebuy. But I did like some of the stuff they added to it. It looks fun, but it does look the same. It doesn't look like from a graphical side. It doesn't look like it's a graphical update, which I don't think they needed anyway. I thought it looked fine at the beginning. Anyway, I know it's not 120 frames a second, but I think it looks and plays like it's supposed to. Um, I
Oh,
what I'm just saying, Oh, also, if y'all are like me, fans of anime and stuff like that, they actually put all three Pikmin shorts actually on the Switch, so you can actually go
oh,
download them
they're
and watch
on
them.
they're on YouTube, so you can
They're
just
not on the
watch them.
Switch. I thought they put them on.
They might be downloadable on the Switch, but they're also just on YouTube in general. So
Yeah, because
everybody
they
that
did take
bought
them
them
off YouTube
before,
at a point. They were on YouTube and then they took
well,
them off.
they took them off YouTube because people were uploading them. They didn't upload it
Oh,
themselves.
okay. So,
So,
yeah, but
yeah, Nintendo went and put it out there now after people paid for them on the Wii U and the 3DS.
I don't blame them. But yeah, I do not blame them. I don't get mad at stuff like that. I used to, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, nah, they got a point. It's they stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
I
they
mean
stuff.
they are also kind of dated.
Yeah,
So, and this is another way for them to make money off of them without actually having to charge people for them.
yeah. And on top of that, I did like the Pikmin. Two of the Pikmin shorts were funny to me. The horror one was actually hilarious when he was eating the fruit, but it made it look like he was eating the red one. It was just some of that stuff was actually funny to me. It was funny, but all this did was actually make me angry because where is my Star Fox anime?
I can't say nothing about that.
Anyway, but I thought the Treehouse Live was actually good. It went a little long. It was like 35 minutes.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, so it kind of went a little long, but it was all right. The one I actually was looking forward to was the Hyrule Warriors one, which I think Shonen Jump is probably going to sue Nintendo for copyright infringement when you see all of the signs that Impa was doing. I was waiting for her to say Kagebushi no Jitsu.
But they technically can't sue for that because if that was the case, then Sega would be able to sue with Streets of Rage because those little fake ninjas would say that when they did their little move to teleport around the screen and you see the shadows of them.
You just killed my joke. You know that, right?
Yeah, I did, and
Yeah,
I
it was.
realized it in the middle of doing it.
Yeah, it was a joke, dude.
But
I, I,
by then I had to commit to it. It was too late.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, gotcha. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So to be honest though, I was actually expecting her to do a fireball. I was actually expecting her to do like a lightning. I was actually expecting her to do like a lot more elemental ninja stuff outside of just shadow clone.
Look,
So clearly she's Naruto.
who's to say she won't do it? Skill
Facts,
trees,
facts.
skill trees.
Right. But yeah, they showed some Impa gameplay. Impa looks she looks dope. I'm not gonna lie, she does look dope. I still think if I'm just from a visual, just from a looking standpoint, Urbosa still looks like she's the best one out of the group,
Mm.
by far. They showed some gameplay of her. I did find something odd though. When they showed the gameplay, her gameplay, when they was in Gerudo City getting attacked by the Yiga clan, Link was actually in the city. Link shouldn't have been in the city, like in full on armor.
As far as the story goes, or just gameplay?
Well, the game, we don't know because like they weren't showing story stuff. They were just showing like the
Okay,
game.
yeah.
They were showing her move
Well,
set and stuff. So I was sitting there, I'm like, why is Link? Link should not be unless it's free play
uh,
mode. Now, if it's free play mode, then yeah. But if this is like story, because the only reason I think I thought it was story because she's not in the champions gift. She's in the black skirt. She's not in the blue.
okay.
She's in the black. So I'm like, I thought no man could go in there. I know they're getting attacked right now, but
It might have been one of them. Look at this is an emergency situation. As soon as all this is over with, you got bounced. But right now, we'll let you be okay.
right now, get your behind in here and help. So yeah, I mean, I see like the Gerudo women is like ultra aggressive when it comes to that. Just because if you actually played Breath of the Wild and you saw that little educational seminar on dating, you I still think that's hilarious.
I think the problem with that is that they're trying to teach themselves that and they can't.
Yeah, it's too funny.
They need outside help.
Yeah, it's funny because like you go, it's on a back alley. You go, it's a little schoolroom, and they're teaching Gerudo women how to pick a mate. I think it's hilarious because they fine, but they aggressive. They aggressive as hell. I just think it's hilarious.
That's the trade off.
Yeah, that's the trade off. It's too funny. But back to the actual treehouse. They did show something that I think is cool that I hope they do for Breath of the Wild too. It's one of the main complaints people had with Breath of the Wild. The weapons breaking. In this, weapons don't break, but you still collect them. But this time, you can actually fuse them together. So I'm hoping that EAD, AJ Aonuma's team, takes that and like puts that in Breath of the Wild too,
But
because that breaking stuff got on people's nerves quick.
that's a typical thing with Musou games anyway, because it was also in Hyrule Warriors where you could combine like
Yeah,
into
but it
stronger
wasn't.
one.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the way they had it set up on the screen is like it's like Breath of the Wild, like the way they
Oh,
had it
okay.
set up.
It's
It
like
wasn't set
that
up like
menu
you had to
setup.
go into the apothecary, you had to go into the blacksmith, and then do it from that. No, you could actually do it from the actual equipment screen.
Oh, while you're doing
Yeah,
everything. Well, yeah. Then I would hope that they do that with Breath of the Wild
yeah,
too. That way, it lets people one re-strengthen weapons that are weakened,
yeah.
or
Or
instead of
drop
losing,
them. Yeah,
yeah, instead of losing the bonuses from the weakened weapon, you put that into another weapon and make that weapon stronger. So
yeah.
that would be a good idea if they did it.
Yeah, because that was one of my complaints from there was the breaking of the weapon, especially like in Breath of the Wild, you had a chance to get each of the champions' main weapon. Those weapons can break. I didn't like that either. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
just just like the
that's a
Master
problem.
Sword, they just should have lost power, and
Yeah,
then they
they
just
shouldn't break.
yeah they shouldn't have broke. I think if the Master Sword recharged after 10 minutes, the champion's weapon should have recharged after 5 or something like that. So instead of actually breaking, you have to wait. Sometimes you have to wait till a blood moon so before you can go back and actually get the stuff to actually remake the weapon. It's really weird like that because that's why I don't even use them now. I just got them on my wall. I don't even
Got
use
more
any because I'm like
display.
it ain't worth it. It because a lot of them like the best one to use in my opinion is actually Urbosa's sword and shield, and it's not worth to me. It's not worth it because to find the materials, usually I have to wait till a blood moon to get the materials to actually make it. If I break it, and I'm not trying to break it, so because it took me forever to find the materials for it. So hoping that in Breath of the Wild too, they're just like, you know what, we're gonna take the breaking. No, we're not gonna break weapons. We're gonna give you like a set slot because you'll have your master sword, but we're gonna give you a set slot and you can strengthen your weapons as opposed to them breaking.
Or or even if the weapons can break, instead of you having to discard them, just have them set up in another slot where you can fix them.
Yeah,
So that way you
that
don't
would actually be
lose
better
them.
as well. Yeah, that would be better as well than the braking mechanic. I just didn't. I understand why it was there. It helped to create a layer of strategy, and it also helped you like, okay, you can't fight everybody. Sometimes you just gotta run because you ain't got nothing, or you about to run out of something. So I understand it. I understand it. I just hope they change that going into the second one. So other than that, though, I thought both tree houses were actually good, and like most tree houses, they were informative. I missed. You have no idea how much I missed Treehouse Live. I am like I know people are spoiled by the directs. I'm spoiled by the Treehouse Live. Like
That's where you get a lot more information about the games you're
yeah,
actually interested in.
yeah. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. The directs are good for like getting the info out there. But if you want to see how a game plays, so you can actually correctly say, okay, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I'm not gonna buy this because I'm looking at y'all play it, and this just ain't. And that has happened. There's been a couple of E3s where I've sat there and watched some Treehouse Live, and I'm like, thank you for doing this because I'm not getting this game. And there's some Treehouse Lives where I'm like, thank you for doing this. I'm picking this up day one.
Yeah, because you probably would have like sometimes the first impression you get from a game through a trailer is not going to give you what you want to know about it unless you see it actually in action.
Yep. Yep. So that's what I'm saying. I like that. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Uh Another thing that I found this week, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. They had a trailer for it.
Oh yeah,
Um uh, okay, do you think this is gonna be a trend with the AR? Because this is kind of them jumping in AR again.
I think it could be, especially if they take advantage of adding additional devices like with Mario Kart Live. They got the cameras attached to the cars, and the cars move around. They speed up and slow down based on what cup you're playing in, how you've been hit, if you got boost, what items you're using. It's really ingenious, and I can see some really bad kids setting up tracks that go up and down the stairs of their house that the parents will be pissed off about, but it'd be funny as hell.
And the dad's gonna be playing with him, and the mom's gonna go off on everybody in the house.
Yep, yep.
Everybody in the
I
house gonna get it.
I can see that happening, and I can also see them expanding the line beyond Mario and Luigi. I can see them adding in Peach, Toadette,
Link,
Bowser, the Koopalings.
Link,
Look, if they go that far, you
Link.
know a bunch of people that's going to sell out real quick as long as they don't make a GameStop exclusive.
Oh no, they don't make man. Why would they make it GameStop exclusive? It's gonna be Best Buy.
That'd be a better choice.
Yeah.
Um, but I could see them doing that and expanding it, or even coming out with little sets that come out afterwards, so you can
Mm-hmm.
have additional checkpoints to further customize your
Play
course.
space. Yeah. Cause
Like,
right now, like I would love to get it, but I'm in an apartment, so I'm not getting that. I don't have enough space.
you would
I
have it.
have. I can make it work. I can actually make it work. I just don't feel like moving stuff around to make it work. So
Nah. So
to me, it's
that's
not worth
more
it for
that's
me.
more of a thing. That is definitely more of a thing for families.
Yeah.
For
Like
like
especially if
getting
you have
it
a basement.
together. Yeah.
Especially if you have a
If
basement.
you got a wide open space with a lot of room, I could see like yeah, like especially like with like what I remember doing when I was younger, putting Lego sets and stuff together. You could see some kid taking their Lego sets and designing a city for the course to go through and just using like little cardboard ramps and stuff to move over things. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
It's just something that could actually make it more fun and more worthwhile for people to do, and it's also a do-it-yourself game. You're putting together the tracks yourself. You're playing it with family. The only other thing you'd have to set up is if you want to be real slick and make some money off of it, set up live streaming it.
Somebody's gonna do that.
Oh, there's
Somebody
plenty of
on
people
Twitch
that's
gonna
playing
do it.
already, dude. Look, you know the people that the YouTubers saw that and Twitch streamers saw that, it was like, oh, I'm getting that,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have some nice drunken kart races with people mad
Uh-huh.
and yelling and screaming at each other.
It's gonna be cousins and dads and yeah. They're gonna be
But
in
I can
the
see how
acting the
fun that
fool.
can be. I can see how fun
Yeah.
that would be.
And it's not gonna be no kids, it's gonna be all adults.
Yeah,
Like most stuff on Nintendo.
most of it's
Like,
gonna be adults.
yeah. Like
Most of
I
it.
would never forget, like there was a meme going around where they were like the fan base for Pokemon, and they showed a bunch of adults, and then they showed like who's the fan base supposed to be, and it was a bunch of
Yeah,
kids. Then they showed like fan base of Call of Duty, supposed to be a
yeah,
bunch of adults, but it's a bunch of kids. It's like it's a
yeah.
swap.
It was an intended fan base, actual fan base.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, yeah, facts. Yeah. So, but okay, so we got a few more minutes, so let's freestyle it. Anything on your mind, man?
There was something, and I'm totally drawing a blank now because it was just like I was thinking about the Mario Kart thing, and my brain started going off on other stuff. That oh, that's what it was. You mentioned going into AR, and I was thinking
Ah,
about them redoing the Zapper, like where they can redo the Zapper, put the Joy Cons in it, and have the Zapper have like a little camera on it, so they could do AR type military games and stuff like that using the Switch. Have the screen sit on the Zapper unless you're playing like a rail shooter, then you can just play it with it docked. But I could
yeah,
see that working.
yeah. That's another thing.
You
Where
could
are
have
the
something like a laser tag type game with it.
yeah? Where are the Zapper accessories? We got
They
all these
were
other
talking
goddamn
about that at
accessories.
one point, but they have not done it.
Yeah, like we got all these damn accessories, and I don't see no Zapper. I don't see no like where are all the? Because that's another thing. I'm like, where are the railgun games at?
And like you would think, like it's literally perfect for it. You could have 4 player rail gun, light gun games
Yeah,
on the Switch,
yeah. Because I mean, we had them on the Wii U
Wii U, and the Wii.
and the Wii, so I'm
Because
like, what
if you
the
play, what was it, Ghost Squad on the
Ghost?
Wii
It was
was
Ghost
4.
Squad. It was Ghost Squad. It was Left 4 Dead, the Resident Evil Chronicles, Umbrella, and I forgot what the other one was named.
House for Dead Overkill,
Yeah, House of
the
Dead
funniest one of the
Overkill.
group.
Yeah, had the most
House of
fun
Dead.
too.
But I remember that Ghost Squad had a 4 player mode. It was like a target practice thing, but it was a 4 player mode. The regular game was 2. But
Yeah, yeah.
I could
I mean,
see them doing it, but they don't. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah. That's why I was like, okay, that seems like it would be a lot of fun. So yeah, and we don't know. Maybe it is coming.
Yeah,
We don't know. Like,
it's a
look,
possibility.
look.
But I think Nintendo could put out a Zapper and they could bring back the Super Scope games.
Yeah, they could. Because I thought they were gonna do that on the Wii when they first did the Virtual Console, and they had the zapper and they had the gun. They had a gun too. They actually had a
Yeah,
gun, and then they had the zapper that looked like a Tommy gun.
yeah.
Um,
They had the Zapper, and then people started putting out their own
because
third party
Nyko
holders.
had the Glock.
Yeah,
Nyko they had a Glock. You put the Wii remote in the thing, and you had to like cock it
yep,
when you first put it in. You basically before you when you first put the Wii remote in, you had to actually cock it to make sure it clicked,
yep.
which
So it'll lock in place
yeah, which was weird. But
because the front of the Wii remote, the infrared part of it
yeah,
became the front of the gun.
yeah. Which, like I said, I thought that was hilariously awesome and weird at the same time. But yeah, and in your when you talked about Hunter the Reckoning being made HD, that's the same team that did the Conduit 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, that
And
was them,
they were supposed to do a game called Grinder, which was
and that
like
got
Hunter,
canceled.
and it got canceled. So I'm
Well,
sitting
it
there
started
thinking
out as a
that
light gun
High
game.
Voltage is still around, right?
Yeah, they're still around. Because Grinder started out as it started out as a light gun game, then it turned into a top-down shooter, kind of
Yeah,
similar to Zombies Revenge.
yeah.
Um, but then
They had a trailer
they
for it and
just
everything.
canceled it. They just canceled it. I don't know what they were planning to do with it.
Yeah, I know.
But
It was they had a trailer. They had 2 trailers for it. I was looking forward to it. Then I never heard anything about it. And then the Wii U dropped, and that's when you found out that High Voltage went mobile because they put the Conduit on mobile, which
yeah, well, that was more Sega's choice because Sega
yeah.
still had the license to the IP.
Okay, but yeah, that's when that happened. But that's another one that probably needs to get needs put on a console is the Conduit 1 and 2. I'm
Yeah,
like those were very good games, and like unfortunately, uh, I don't know how I feel about using the Joy Cons as a Wii remote and Chuck, but I know you can do it. I just don't know how I feel about it.
yeah. It is doable, but I think the problem is that because the infrared is on the bottom
Yeah,
of the controllers is what the problem is. If it wasn't on the bottom, or if they again if they came out with their own zapper for it, where they can make the right Joy-Con face outward from
yeah,
from it, and you could just use the buttons on the left Joy-Con to do the shooting and moving your character around, and maybe use the joystick on the right Joy-Con as like a reload function or something like that, depending on how it was set up. There's a lot of stuff that they could do with it. It just takes them some time to figure it out.
that's true. I mean, I just would love for that to come back because Conduit 1 and 2 was probably like two of the better first person shooters I had played in a while because they let you adjust literally everything.
Everything you could
And
adjust, like
the hit boxes, all of that, spray boxes, all of it, you could adjust that to make it work for you.
yeah.
And
Plus
that
the
just made
game
the game
was
10 times better, in my
it
opinion.
was plus it was a lot of fun, and it had a
Yeah.
lot. The story was decent,
Yeah.
even
The
if
story actually, like, it was good to go through the story.
mm-hmm. Plus
Instead of like
you,
most of these games, most people just jump in the multiplayer. They don't even play the story. But it actually, Conduit was actually a good story.
yeah,
It's
and the
actually a
levels
real
were
good story.
difficult and trained you on how to do certain things you wouldn't do if you just
Hmm.
hopped right into the multiplayer.
Oh, you hop right in the multiplayer, you gonna get worked.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when people that played the story came in, you was gonna get mollywopped. Ask people on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I rest my case.
But it, like it's a bunch of stuff that they could do that could be brought out. Like I still I have the recordings for it. I just need to put everything together because I was trying to figure out what game sort of looks like the conduit that I could record to put as the
Got you.
background for it. The only thing I can think of is like Halo, and I'm like I don't know if I want to do that because there were some similar items between the two games.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Okay, man, I gotta ask you because I saw the video, but okay, so I work in the IT field. So my day job is that's what I do. Video games are my hobby. I like playing. That's why I don't engage in a lot of these PC elitists. I know everything about computers that don't have any cert to back it up conversations because most of the time, if you notice, especially if you follow me on Twitter, me and Shadow Fox Infinite actually work in IT. We actually have certs to back it up. When we talk about stuff like that, we're not lying. We know what we talk about. If we know when you're saying when you're pulling up stuff that you just Googled and you don't understand what you're reading, we actually know we actually know you don't understand what you're reading. So
Mm.
I don't talk about it because I'm not trying to get into arguments with people about stuff like that. That's my day job is my day job. I play video games to have fun. So, but I did see the PS5 teardown video. But hey, I will give Sony props for this because I've always said I am so sick and tired of people always complaining about specs and specs and specs. I'm like, you don't know what the specs are. Pop, if you really did care about specs like that, break your first of all, void your warranty, pop your console open and take a look and see what's in there. I'm not voiding my warranty because if something happened, I need to exchange it. But
Mm.
if you want to void your warranty or buy you another one and pop it open and see where all parts are in it. That's the only way you gonna know. Because most times you look at them spec sheets, you don't know if what they say is in there is in there. Sometimes it ain't.
Mm.
Only reason why I know is because I did that one time. I actually popped open some stuff and found out that man, this is not what they said that's on this list is in here. Unless it's up under another name I don't know about.
Yeah, if it's custom, but
Yeah.
if it's custom, you can usually look
You,
up
you
a
eh,
variant that's similar to
yeah, you can because you
it.
can tell by, it's still gonna be the same shape. So you can actually tell, but that's neither here nor there. But I thought that was actually funny. I liked it. I liked it because, like, once again, if you want to know, open it up. That's the only way you're gonna know. Open it up.
That's the only way to know.
Yeah. So, but understand, if you open it up, you're gonna void your warranty. Also, if you try to exchange something out, it may not work because a lot of that stuff in there is, like you said, proprietary. Them chipsets are proprietary. Yeah, they might say They might say stuff, but it's proprietary. Good luck trying to find something that's gonna work, that's
Mm.
compatible. That's why if you really are, I've said this 100 times before. If you really are about power and specs and all that, just build you a gaming rig, build you a PC. It's gonna cost you some money if you want that high end stuff. It's gonna cost you some money, and you ain't gonna be able to play everything. But if that's what you want, if you bout that life, then that's what you need to do. Arguing over console specs ain't it. Just build your gaming rig. I'm actually thinking about going on and biting the bullet and building me one. Just because I think in the long run it'll just be cheaper, especially since everything's going to PC. I mean, hell, when we saw the last PS5 showcase, half of the
Mm.
stuff in fine print was saying also on PC.
Yep.
So the only one that ain't putting their stuff on PC is Nintendo. So it's gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'll just have the Nintendo console and my PC because I already got Game Pass. So and Game Pass is you can use it wherever.
Yeah, and most of the
Basically.
games that end up on console on Game Pass end up on PC on Game Pass.
Anyway, yeah.
So
So it's not. They're closing the gap on that, as it were. So that I just found that funny. I found it hilariously funny to me because I'm pretty sure. Cause I think it got like over 5 million views. I'm like,
oh yeah,
and
that
half of
thing
them
got
people
views
watching it don't
quick.
understand a damn thing they seeing.
Nope, they don't.
they they just don't. And once again, there's nothing wrong with that. Because there's nothing wrong with not understanding if you just want to. Because shoot, I nerd out over stuff that I watch a lot of behind the scenes stuff on making of movies and stuff like that. I don't understand it, but if I have a question, I usually ask my boy Mr. T because he works in that field. So I usually ask
Yeah.
him if I don't understand it. So
Usually, like even if you don't understand it, but like you can start familiarizing yourself with stuff. Like that's why I say I'm not a tech head, but I do like tech.
yeah,
Like, but
and this
like that's what I get in when I get dragged into them conversations on accident. I'm like, I can tell you're lying, and
do this.
I don't even do this for a living.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, dude, because that, and I had to give it to Shadow. Shadow, he engages in that. I'm like, yeah, bro, you better than me. I don't engage in that.
He is a
I,
consummate educator.
yeah, I don't engage in that because to me, it's not worth it. At the
Well,
end of the day, because I know that most people do not know what they're talking about. They do one Google search and think that they have all the answers when it's clearly not that cut and dry.
mm,
And like I said, it's my day job. I'm not trying to do my day job 24 hours a day.
mm.
I don't know if anybody trying to do their day job 24 hours a day.
Well, it depends on how much you like your day job.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it depends. But I don't even then. Some people like, yeah, I love my day job, but can I go to bed? you know. So I
Well,
mean,
that does bring up one question because it was something I had done a discussion on, which I don't know. I have to put it up on YouTube. But do you think it would have been beneficial to Microsoft and Sony if they would have gone cartridge this generation instead of sticking with Blu-rays?
well, it depends because if Sony is still using their proprietary, because remember, Sony started making their own. So if Sony is still using their proprietary, it's going to be cheaper for Sony to use theirs. Now with Microsoft, even though money is not an object to them, I think it probably would have done them some good to go cartridge because cartridges can are cheaper depending on you know what you're trying to do, unless we're talking about those third parties and those games that's like 88 to 1,000 gigs
Well,
because
like, but that's what I'm looking at because Nintendo uses technology that's similar to SD cards for their
yep.
cartridges,
Hmm.
and we know that SD cards are getting bigger and bigger and can hold more than a Blu-ray can.
Yep, they
So
can.
if they were using something similar to that, but it would have to be proprietary. But if they were using
Well,
something similar to that, it would cost more up front. But then you got to think about the fact that one, it
well,
saves your
not for Microsoft.
consumers. Well, not for Microsoft, but it saves
Not for
your
Microsoft.
consumers.
Sony probably would, but not
Yeah.
for Microsoft because Microsoft, I think they make their own for their for their I forgot what they call it. I'll remember after the podcast over with. But yeah,
But
but
no,
it
I'm just thinking about the fact that if they did that, the games could run right off the carts, especially
mhm.
depending on where they had the slot versus where the memory channels are. Like
Hmm.
sort of like how the Switch is, even though I'm not the biggest tech head, I know like their memory channels are nearby where the cartridges go
Yeah,
into the
kind of like
system
it
so it
was.
boots up and runs quickly.
Yeah, kind of like it was on the 64.
Yeah.
Kind of like
So
that.
it's just one of those things where I think if they did that, they could save people. They'd be like on one, it would make the physical medium actually worth something.
Yeah.
Two,
Well,
they could save
that's
people space on their consoles so they don't bloat as quickly. Like they just have to deal with a lot of updates, which wouldn't be as big as the whole game.
yeah. But here's the problem. Um, with that, I think Sony and Microsoft are trying to. They're trying to push digital. They've been trying to push digital since um the
Since
beginning
360 and
of.
PS3.
Well, not the PS3, PS4, and Xbox One is when they
No,
went into
I'd
overdrive.
say they started. I'd say they started seventh gen when they started putting the whole retail games on their stores.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'm talking about when it went into overdrive, when it kicked into
Oh yeah,
overdrive
it definitely was
was
PS4
then
and Xbox One. Yeah.
because that's what the whole DRM thing came into play.
Mm.
So they've been trying to push this, and in a way, I understand because look at our physical media now. Look at DVDs for example. People aren't buying DVDs like they used to because why buy it when I can go on Google Play? I already got Chromecast on my TV and my laptop. All I gotta do, and I can rent it for $1.99 for 48 hours. Yeah, bruh, I'm not gonna do that, and I ain't gotta. I can remove most of the clutter. I understand people want their physical video games, but I'm telling you, a quarter of the game is on the disc. The
Mm.
rest of it ain't. Which
Nah,
means
it ain't.
even if because most people's excuse is I want physical because when the servers stop, I can still play the game. Buddy, you're playing Destiny 2, that game ain't on the disc. You're
I'm
playing
like
Mortal Kombat
even.
11, all of that game is not on the disc. You're playing uh, Halo, all of that game ain't on the disc.
Mm.
You're playing Spider-Man on PS4, all of that game ain't on the disc. So if they shut down them servers, you're screwed anyway. It
Yeah.
don't matter. I hate to be the one. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The only thing you're gonna probably be able to play is the indie games, which some of y'all swear y'all don't like, even though they keep selling. So some of y'all buying them. But I mean that's where we're at right now. These games are too big. That's why Phil Spencer made that statement last week talking about 8K. Like we ain't ready for 8K. I'm like, thank you somebody for saying it, and
We
hopefully
weren't
since
ready for
Phil said
4K.
it, y'all will listen.
We weren't ready for 4K.
Yeah. And
Still
that's
ain't.
basically what he was saying. That's basically what he was saying. He's like, look, man, we keep throwing around these numbers. Y'all need to shut the hell up. Because we can't give y'all that. I'm paraphrasing here, but that's what he was alluding to because it's like, look, man, we don't need to worry about that right now. We got this. We got to push out, and I'm like, because ever since they did that first Google Stadia, and they kept saying 8K every third minute, I'm like, we ain't even got. I'm like, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Like Phil Harrison, why are you saying that? You should not even be saying that. You shouldn't be
No, you
worried
should.
about that right now. So I'm glad Phil said it because usually when Phil says stuff, even if he's repeating what somebody else said, people are listening to him as opposed to when somebody else says something.
Yeah.
And it gave me
Like
some
everything a water said that he repeated.
and let the church say yes. All right, so yeah, I mean, so yeah, that's our show for today. Please tip your waitress on the way out. But so anything you want to pimp out before we get out of here, man?
Just got my usual stuff coming out. But I'm planning on ramping up more of my a gamer's thoughts discussions because I like people have asked me my opinion on a lot of things, and I have been quiet on a bunch of stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ramp that up a little bit more, give more of my opinions on stuff. But I have a slew of videos planned that I'm working on.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
that's it's just gonna be what it be. I'm not even gonna say anything specific is coming until it actually happens. So
Okay, that's
that's
cool.
where I'm at.
That makes sense. Because I need to stop saying that too, because I'm behind on my Let's Talks. But I will say this, people, I do apologize. I will say this: my job, I'm working a different shift now, so it's going to be harder for me to get the videos I want to do out. So I'm gonna have to probably try to do them on the weekend, more than likely Sunday. I will say this though, I am planning on when Steve drops for Smash Brothers, I am planning on doing the classic mode gameplay and putting it up on my channel. I think he drops Tuesday. It'll probably be up Wednesday morning sometime. So you'll probably start seeing videos of mine come up in the morning
Mhm.
time and possibly on the weekends. I'm still trying to work a few things out as far as streaming is concerned. So please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my gaming channel. I want to bring back my Friday night Let's Chats, but I'm gonna have to do them on Saturday. So probably gonna call them Saturday Chats, just because I I can't do them on Friday anymore. But we'll probably just do like Let's Talks like that. So we'll see about it. We'll try. I'm gonna try to work something out. Hopefully, I can figure this out and get stuff out in a timely manner. I'm still working on my website, so hopefully have that up sometime soon as well. So you have like actual calendar schedule and all the other stuff, and see my little tidbits and thoughts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I am still working on a lot of stuff, even though I have my schedule has been
Work.
rearranged due to work. Due to work, my schedule has been rearranged a lot lately. Um, but yeah, I still plan on to put some gaming vids out, and like I said, Steve will be out. The Steve gameplay will be out. Hopefully, should be Wednesday morning. Should be Wednesday morning sometime. I'll try to get that done and up. I'll probably do one playthrough without commentary, and then probably do like a playthrough of like the Spirit Table with commentary up. So just so you know that will be up. We were supposed to have a guest, but we couldn't. That didn't happen this week. So we'll try again next week to have a special guest. But if you have a chance to, please do not. Please go on and visit our good buddy Mr. T's YouTube channel. Y'all probably already know him. If you're a fan of this channel, I'm pretty sure you're a fan of his. He's been on here a couple times, so shout out to him. Please go check out his channel, like, share, subscribe, all the other good stuff, and we will see you guys on our next vid. Wakanda forever, people.
Peace out.